Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us this morning. I would also like to apologize for the slight delay of this public hearing that we're supposed to start at 9 o'clock. But anyway, good morning again, and thank you for joining us. On behalf of the members of the Standing Committee on Executive Appointment and Government Investigation, we would like to welcome Governor Torres' representative, Ms. Jackie King, the appointee, Ms. Esther Marie A. Yatar, elected officials, dignitaries, and members of the general public. Before we proceed forward with this public hearing, let me first introduce the members of this standing committee. To my immediate right is the floor's leader of the Senate, Senator Vinny Sablan from the 3rd Senatorial District, Saipan. And to my left is the vice chairman of this committee, Senator Victor B. Hokuk from the 1st Senatorial District, Rota. And I'm the chairman of this committee, Senator Francisco Q. Cruz from the 2nd Senatorial District, Tinian. I would also like to announce a couple of things in the interest of informational purposes regarding code of conduct during this public hearing. Today, the members of this standing committee are conducting a public hearing on the appointment of Ms. Esther Marie A. Yatar to serve as a member of the Commonwealth Election Commission to represent the island of Rota. The public will be invited to make comments as to whether you support or oppose the appointee before us this morning. We value your input. However, any comments beyond the facts of the appointee that are not directly related will not be entertained, and such comment will be removed from the record. At the same time, please observe minimal noises in disrupting this hearing process, and please turn your electronic to a silent mode. Thank you. Let us now begin. This public hearing is now in session. Today is July 15, 2022. In the morning, here at the Rota Mayor's Office Conference Hall, Tatatsuk, Rota. And it's approximately 9:39 in the morning. This is a public hearing regarding the appointment of Ms. Esther Marie A. Yatar by Governor Rob De Longer Torres to serve as a member of the Commonwealth Election Commission representing the island of Rota, pursuant to 1 CMC, subsection 6102. Mr. Evan Macaronis will be our clerk for this hearing, assisted by our LB staff, Ms. Jolene Biduenas Tagabel. Mr. John Santos will be our Sergeant at Arms. Mr. Jonathan Diaz will be covering social media. And Mr. Jobo Moody's will be our legal counsel, and will all serve accordingly for this public hearing. At this time, I would like to ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Senator Francisco Q. Cruz.
Here.
Senator Victor B. Hokuk. Senator Carl R. King Neighbors. Senator Justo S. Kittigwet. Senator Vinny F. Sablan. Mr. Chairman, 3 members are present, 2 members are absent.
Thank you, clerk. With 3 members present, we have the necessary number to proceed with this public hearing. However, Vice President of the Senate, Senator Justo Kittigwet, and Senator Carl King Neighbors are both excused for this hearing. At this time, do I hear a motion to adopt our agenda?
So, second.
There's a motion for the adoption of our today's public hearing agenda and was seconded. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. At this time, I'd like to ask Sergeant at Arms to please escort the appointee and the governor's rep to the podium. And ma'am, before you proceed, please state your name for the record. Thank you.
Half a day and good morning, Chairman Cruz and the honorable members of this committee, Mayor F.M. Atali, and for everyone that are present here today. For the record, my name is Joaquina King, Governor's representative under the Office of the Governor. I am here on behalf of Governor Ralph Delongero Torres to formally introduce Ms. Esther Marie A. Yatar, the governor's nominee to serve as a member of the Commonwealth Election Commission representing the 1st Senatorial District. By this time, you should have in your possession Ms. Esther Marie A. Yatar's resume describing her professional experiences and education. I know she stands ready to answer your questions and report on her plans for the future. Therefore, on behalf of Governor Ralph Delongero Torres, I humbly request for your support and favorable decision in confirming the appointee to serve as a member of the Commonwealth Election Commission. Thank you, Jesus Masi Giliso, for the opportunity to introduce Ms. Esther Yatar to this august body.
Thank you, Ms. King. And before I recognize the appointee, ma'am, can you please stand and raise your right hand so that the clerk can administer the oath?
A. Yatar, you do solemnly swear under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you shall give in the matter at hand shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Yatar. Good morning again, and I know that you have submitted all required documents by this committee, but if you have anything else that you wish to share this morning, you have the floor, but state your name for the record.
Good morning, Honorable Chairman Francisco Cruz, Honorable Vice Chairman Victor Hokuk, Honorable Floor Leader Vinny Sablon, Honorable Mayor FMN Actalik, and other distinguished members of this august body. My name is Esther Yatar, and I am deeply humbled by my renomination to continue serving as Commissioner for the Commonwealth Election Commission representing the 1st Senatorial District. I would like to take this time to share my sincere gratitude and appreciation to Honorable Governor Ralph Torres for his continuing trust and confidence in me to be given the opportunity to provide a service not only for the people of Rhoda, but also for the people of the Commonwealth as a whole. My goal, if reconfirmed, is to continue collaboration with my colleagues at the Election Commission to ensure that we execute a safe and fair election. There have been many issues brought up by my constituents in the past election, and I, along with my colleagues, have been focusing on addressing these concerns that have been negatively affecting the election results. I propose that in order to finally resolve those issues, we require either an amendment of election laws or an update of election rules and regulations. I hope you will allow me the opportunity to continue serving, as I am committed to dedicate my time and effort to do whatever it takes to ensure that our election will be free of unfair practices. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Yatar. And at this time, before I recognize the member of the general public that are here in the gallery, first I would like to acknowledge those entities that are invited to participate. First on the list, I would like to welcome the Honorable Mayor Efren Antalik from the municipality of Rhoda. Good morning, sir. And before you proceed, please state your name for the record. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, and welcome to the island of Rhoda. Locate the Vice Chair, Senator Vic. Welcome home, sir. And floor leader, like I said, Kadaulia Somaliko. Para Hauguloki, no legal counsel, welcome to Rhoda and the staffs. President at Arm. Sina finatomo dan ya zadudumo siya magigini kita toluta. And so also the media, welcome to the island of Rhoda. Mr. Chairman, I'm very happy that the Governor Ralph Delongero Torres has decided to reappoint renominate Esther to the Commonwealth Election Commission simply because I feel and I see that the governor has the every confidence in her ability and performance during her tenure. Therefore, I feel, because of that, he decided to renominate Esther to continue serving the island of Rhoda and the Commonwealth as a whole. With that said, I share the same feeling that please let's continue her service to the Board of Election to serve the island of Rhoda and the Commonwealth as a whole. Like I said, I'm gonna make it short. It's very simple. She's here. She's been helping. She's educated. She's disciplined. And she serves the island of Rhoda quite well. So please, I ask of this body to confirm her, and so we can expeditiously have her work all these outstanding issues that we hear, and we hope that we can resolve all these issues prior to the elections. So please expedite her um, confirmation. And, like I said, Jesus Masid, and thank you and welcome to the island of Rhoda. Jesus Masid.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Any member of the 18 Rota Municipal Council? No one. The Commonwealth Election Commission Executive Director or staff that is here? Before you proceed with your testimony, please state your name for the record. Thank you.
Hafday Jantero, my name is Benoit Chitaiskan. I am the outreach coordinator for the Commonwealth Election Commission. The executive director, Kayla Ito, was not able to join us today. Therefore, I am here to provide her statement of support. Good morning, Chairman Cruz and honorable members of this Committee on Executive Appointments and Government Investigations. I thank you for this opportunity to express my support of the reappointment of Ms. Esther Yatar, who will be representing the 1st Senatorial District. I have worked closely with Commissioner Yatar since her first appointment to the CEC board in 2016 to present. And she has been an asset not only to the Commonwealth Election Commission, but also for the community of Rhoda. Commissioner Yatar plays an active role on the board in maximizing registration in the 1st Senatorial District. She has been with the Commonwealth Election Commission for 5 elections and is knowledgeable in her role as a member of the board. Commissioner Yatar also assisted in the board, CEC Legal Counsel, and myself in drafting amendments to our election law that we had transmitted to Representative Attal back in 2021. I look forward to continue to work alongside Commissioner Yatar for the upcoming 2022 general election. Thank you again for allowing me to express my support for the reappointment of Commissioner Esther Yatar to the Commonwealth Election Commission. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you repeat your name again?
Benoit Chitaiskan.
Any member of the election commission? Or still have a? Please state your name for the record.
Hi, good morning. My name is Robin Sablan. I'm here on behalf of the Commonwealth Election Commission. I'm the administrative officer for the commission. And yes, since 2016, I've worked with Ms. Yatar in regards to registration or absentee, and she has a lot of input we did a lot of amendments and still awaiting. And I want her to continue supporting our office. And I'm in support of her nomination. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other member wishes to?
I think that's.
Thank
Thank. Talon.
Good morning, Chair and members. My name is Jesus Sablan. I am presently the Chairman of the CEC Board. To be honest with you, we need Esther on board. Anyway, I'll make my presentation short and simple. I'm here to testify for the confirmation of the reappointment of Commissioner Yatar. I have known and worked with her since her initial appointment back in 2000, I believe 2016. She's a great co-worker to work with. I don't want to elaborate on that because I might be lying to myself. She's an asset to the CEC, the entire Cnma, and most especially to the people of Rota. To deny her the opportunity to continue as a member of the CEC board will be a great loss to the entire Cnma. Therefore, I am urging you members to confirm her on her reappointment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sablan. Any other member? If no one else, let me entertain the members of the general public that is here to participate. And again, I would like to remind anyone that wishes to come forward and deliver testimony that comments that are raised that are not directly related with this public hearing will not be entertained, and such comment will be removed from the record. At this time, public comment is now open for anyone in the gallery, whether you're in support or not in support, you're free to come forward. And before you begin with your testimony, please state your name for the record. Public comment is now open. Anyone in the gallery? If no one, I will have to entertain the committee, and we will not go back to public comment. So this is the opportunity. No one else? Okay, at this time, I'd like to entertain the committee to raise questions and concern. First, I would like to recognize the first senator district from the island of Rhoda, and senator from Rhoda, the vice chairman of this committee, Senator Victor B. Hoku.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning to everyone that are here with us for the public hearing of the appointee to once again serve the Election Commission as a representative from the island of Rhoda. I also like to extend to Ms. Yatar appreciation for reconsidering and accepting your reappointment to once again serve the Board of Election Commission for the next 4 years. And before I put out areas of concern that have reached the committee's attention, I would like to first also extend appreciation for your commission colleagues, the chairman, Jesus Sablan, Dorisan, Don, Natalie, and the two hardworking staff that is assisting the commission with uh, to ensure that the commissioners have the necessary uh, concern to be addressed during any of the commission meetings. When Mr. Cepeda was also provided the opportunity to be heard at the Senate as a new member, I have asked him to ensure the working relationship and to put up recommendation that the committee have requested of him for the purpose of discussing uh, moving forward with our election process to be more transparent in the days ahead. I, I am pretty sure, Ms. Yatar, that the 4 years that you have served the commission provides you also the necessary tool to understand the importance of putting up a rules and regulation that will be acceptable and transparent to the voters who are exercising their rights to elect their leaders. With this, I'd like you to just provide few or one or two that you have experienced during the time you served the commission. What are some areas that you feel and think can be changed or upgraded to ensure the transparency of the commission duties and responsibility?
I think first and foremost that I've seen in the election is the absentee ballots, um, especially with our district here in Rhoda, where there's so many absentee ballots requested for, and I know that we had worked on trying to be more, you say. To like when we send out those absentee ballots or the requests that come in to find out, I mean, are they really, eligible to vote? Because in a lot of times we find, or in my experience, like here in Rhoda, um, a candidate would win on island, but when the absentee comes in, they actually, the outside determines who is going to sit and represent our island, which I really think is unfair because they're voting over there for here, but yet they're not living here. They don't feel the blunt of what we're feeling going through with our the prices. So I know that we worked on a draft that was sent to the House regarding absentees, where we just wanted, or if possible, military personnel and their families, students, retirees that are living off island, but paying taxes here in the CNMI, because we've seen, or I've seen, um, names and that I've not seen since I've moved to Rhoda, but are on that list, and I don't even know who they are. But yet they're given the opportunity to vote here.
So, with those experiences and issues, you have participated in preparing the proposed draft legislation and presented to a member of the House of Representatives for consideration. And And when was this? When
I
this?
believe it was August of 2021. Can I?
If I may, Mr. Chairman, if no objection from the member, I would like also to maybe call the present chair to be with Ms. Yatar so that we can ensure that we get the necessary. Uh, okay, thank you.
Mr. Sablan, if you don't mind, requested for your patience and understanding.
Was it August?
Before you assist Ms. Yatar with the question that is placed before her, I just want to make sure, Mr. Sablan, that this is not a pre-hearing for your renomination or reappointment, but it's just to assist and have the committee members provided the clear explanation of what really being done in the election commission for any change or proposed change that will ensure the transparency in carrying out the duties and responsibility of the commission and the staff. So my question is, the draft legislation that Ms. Yatar was saying has been submitted for consideration to a member of the House of Representatives, and to date, we have seen no, or you have seen no production of such proposed regulation that requires legislative action.
Yes, thank you, Vice. The first question as to when was. Okay, you got it? Okay, the first question was for the time. I think it was back in September 2021, yeah. We submitted up to BJ Ato. And actually the whole package was done with our director together with our council. And the outcome of those issues concerning the changes that we looked as to the necessary recommendation to the legislature to make changes to make the election laws better and protection for the CEC and as well as the other candidates. It was presented to BJ Ato, Congressman BJ Ato, but to now, I think the latest that I heard is that he was not able to do anything until lately, where Kayla, together with some of the members, I believe, they make contact with BJ and they pull out some of the immediate issues that we needed for this upcoming election. I am sorry, but I don't have the information with me. I don't know if Robin have any information on that, but there's some in the issues that we presented together with by Kayla together with the legal counsel to BJ. We extracted some that we feel that we need for the legislature to take action for the upcoming election. The rest of them will be done probably after the election or at a later date. I can give one example. I think one example is the absentee ballots, absentee issues that Esther just mentioned earlier. And I'm not sure what are the others. I don't have it in front of me. And I don't want to say anything, just to contradict what I say versus the actual new package that we gave to BJ.
So I believe your staff have provided a thorough or involvement in preparing those changes. and recommend to the board for acknowledgement before it was sent, to the House of Representatives for introduction. And it would be in the best interest also, no, Mr. Chairman, for the committee to invite Robin, as he is one of the key staff that assisted this proposed legislation that the board of the commissioners would like to see immediate change to ensure to carry out their duties and responsibility in a very transparent and necessary fashion. So, Robin, you have anything that you can share to the committee?
Yes, again, Robin Sablan from the Election Commission. I was the one that drafted the bill, forwarded to the AG, made some changes, and to include the process of absentee ballots. We forwarded to Representative BJ Attal, 2021, and then this year, he was going to present it to the House. Unfortunately, it didn't go through. However, before he presented it, he deleted the absentee process because it's not going to go. That's what he said. It's not going to go through. So what was amended, proposed amendment was the no electronic device, the handle of the ballots, and a couple other things. But as far as the absentee, it's out of the amendments.
So, Mr. Sablan, when during that discussion took place, you were told that the subject concern of the proposed legislative change, requiring legislative change, you were told that it's not going to make it.
It's not going to make it, and
Make it to where?
at the House and Senate.
So they are forecasting already the position of what the Senate can exercise, no? I think the responsible individual should have presented that before the body, and the body will have to make that decision, and not a single-handed that concluded that it's not going to make it. There's no way that any single representative or senator can make that conclusive comment when an agency requiring the necessary change to ensure, the duties in carrying out transparent responsibilities to ensure that the electorate will be provided fair and transparent election. And that is the duty of that office, because they are the first hand that provided the system to, when it comes to an election, they have the duty to, and an experience that seeing what is needed to carry out in a more transparent operation and responsibility. And I'm very surprised that a member will conclude to tell the proposed legislation to be introduced that it will not make it. I don't know if that legislation again can be looked into, and if let me ask our council whether the proposed legislation for change only mandate that the House of Representatives can introduce first, or can the Senate in itself introduce that legislation as well? Council?
Either house can introduce the bill.
So in the interest of your proposed changes, I would like you and the commission to provide the Senate with a copy of the proposed legislation that requires needing change for the commission to carry out a transparent responsibility when election comes.
We are happy to forward you the First Amendment.
Now, the Senate may act on such legislation, but I will not tell you that it will not make it in the House of Representatives. No, I can tell you that if you provided us that legislation, I cannot tell you that it's not going to make it in the Senate. We'll put that, deliver the intent of your proposed changes, and we will find the answer when the Senate debate on the proposed changes, whether it's necessary or not. So thank you for that information. In another issue of concern, I know that I've tried to introduce the change back in 2020. That probably I would assume will address also the commission or the commission concern regarding absentee. It is unfortunate that the time is too close, and even if it's passed, it requires time period for the commission to address what the changes are in that legislation. In the absence of the commission desire for change, I would like to ask whether I would like to take this concern, and perhaps the commission, when it attain its quorum to discuss the election process for this November, I would like the commission the commissioners to put this under discussion with your legal counsel, that in the absence of the commission concerned to change or amend the present statute that will enable the commission to carry their duties by statute, I'd like the commissioners to look into the Commonwealth Code under subsection 6105, the Election Commission duties. Under subsection F, where it states that the commission can promulgate rules and regulations pertaining to registration by mail, nomination of candidates, voting procedures, and a system for absentee voting. If the legislation cannot attain its approval by both houses, then I would ask you to discuss this with your legal counsel, whether the commission can make these changes using the authority provided by law, that the council can make changes on the regulation regarding absentee. And maybe you can take that for consideration to discuss with the legal counsel and see where we go from there. So I think this has been a grave concern, most particularly for the 2 senatorial districts, about absentee. And I want also the staff and the commission to address that if a requester requesting for absentee dedicate a post office box number to one post office box number, and obviously the commission was sending that request of absentee is concentrated on one PO box number in the number of more than 10, then I believe the commission should be concerned of that process. Because I cannot believe that a 20 absentee requests using one box number are all in the same household. So I want the commission also to work with the staff and the legal counsel how to address that when it comes around again. Sending absentee ballot to one particular box number from a different requester for absentee ballots. I recognize this.
Vice Chair, I acknowledge your concern, and I would most appreciate it if it's a legitimate concern, honestly, and I share with you that concern. My request is, could you put it down in writing so that we can present it to the full board and and discuss it and we
Okay, I will prepare the area of concern and provide you as a sitting chairman today, and you can put that for discussion during your call of the meeting.
That would be fine, Vice. The earlier you get it to us, the earlier we can tackle it. It looks like it's getting close to election, and we might or we might not be able to do something about it, but we'll do our best to take care of that.
And that's why I'm saying that, Mr. Chair and Mr. Tar, that if the legislation or proposed legislative change of the commission recommendation is not possible to see to see this legislation becoming law for your further perusal in administering your duties and responsibilities. And that's why I'm saying that for you to also discuss this with your legal counsel, can the commission promulgate rules of the change? And I understand that once the commission will promulgate rules, it will have to be registered in the Commonwealth Register for some period of time. I think 30 days before it becomes effective. And even if the Senate should consider the proposed recommendation by the commission, did act on it, I cannot assure you how long it will take, on our counterpart to act on the legislation. So it might not, like what Robin was saying, that it's not going to make it a absentee section of the proposed legislation agreed by the board, by the commissioners. But the fastest way is to look into promulgating rules and regulations provided you under subsection F on election commission duties.
Yeah, we acknowledge that, Vice, and I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't even know why they only presented. I mean, they went directly to the House. Now that I know that the Senate can do it, I'm sorry to say that the director is not here to answer my concern. My concern was why he was presented to BZ himself.
I don't know if any of the members have seen that proposed recommendation for change that the commission provided the House of Representatives. So none of the Senate have access to that proposed legislation recommendation that requires the action of the legislature for change. And we'll be happy to receive a copy of the draft And we will also review that before legal counsel, whether the mandate to exclude in the change that the commission requires in respect to absentee, for what reason that we cannot put that in. So thank you for that information. And another concern that I have that I'm discussing with some of the members, the requirement of a candidate to be certified seeking public office, such as a candidate that wants to run for the House of Representatives, for the for the Senate, and for the mayorship. I wonder if the commission have any information that you can share the requirement for a candidate to run seeking the election process.
Vice,
I would like to, if you have some ideas or answer, maybe the committee is interested to learn also about how the eligibility for a candidate to run under all these offices.
yeah, Vice, if I may, can I turn that over to Robin? Uh, to be honest with you, the commissioners does not scrutinize the qualifications or the package that the candidates turn into the commission. It's the management that does that. What they do is they review the packages, make sure that they're all in compliance, and I'm pretty sure that Robin can answer that better than me.
Okay, Mr. Sablan, Robin, can you provide the committee members with the concern that I just put out?
Yes, I'll just go down, and everything is on Article 1 on our public law for election. Governor, 35 years of age, 10 years residency.
Okay.
Senators, 21 years of age, 5 years residency, and this is continuously residency. Mayor, 3 years residency, as well as the municipal council.
What about for the Senate seat
For senators, 5 years residency.
and the House of Representatives?
House of Representative, 3 years.
So the only higher standard of residency, continuous resident, requires only for the governor to ensure that he resides in the Cnma for 10 years consecutively or continuously?
Yes.
Recognize, Mr. Yatar. Okay. So that is very clear in the eyes of the commission. And as we now seeing that there are individuals interested to run for this public office, must be reviewed their residency requirement. And does the residency requirement equates I'll just slip that from my mind now. The residences and the domicile, yeah, domiciliary. Does this, you guys look also on these two areas, the domiciliary requirement and the residency requirement?
Yes, and us as a clerk by law, if we have question in regards to the candidate's residency or domicile, we challenge the registration, and we forward that to the commission, before the commission, for final decision.
That must be a difficult task, Mr. Sablan, to really investigate the two areas of concern with their residents and their domicile.
It is.
But I guess in order to provide a transparent election to the electorate that execute their rights on a senatorial level, we like to put this before the board or the commission, that we would like to see that the electorate that are residing on a particular will prevail and not be fractured by 20 off-island absentees, allowing them to continuously vote and change the dynamic of the election result. Uh, and this can result from voters that have never been in the Commonwealth or in their respective senatorial, but are allowed to cast their vote under the absentee ballot request. So maybe those are the areas that I would like to ask the commission and the staff to investigate the period, the time period where all this request for absentee, whether they have been in the Commonwealth for how many days, or they are requesting absentees when they have never come to the island or doesn't have any intent to come and reside. And most particularly, I'd like you to engage into serious investigation regarding benefits of all these requesting absentee that are receiving any kind of benefit, being employed somewhere else, but we continue to be so passionate and provide them the absentee because they are of Northern Marianas descent. But we need to also protect the will of the electorate that are casting their vote on a senatorial district. We're not saying that they cannot, if they are voters, we're not saying that we cannot make them vote. But if they have not resided in the CNMI or have been coming in and out from their area of residency elsewhere, though, I think that is only fair that we recognize those individuals, like what Ms. Yatar say, the military families, the retirees that are off island, the students that are attending school abroad, and any other resident claiming to be a voter of a senatorial or municipality that are paying taxes in the Commonwealth. I think those are the priorities to ensure that granting them the request to exercise their constitutional rights will be forefront. But for a voter who have been voting but never come, never pay anything, never been on the island since birth, or 20 years, never been to the island, and they continue to receive, the process of requesting absentee. So I like the election commission to ensure that the staff really investigate this, and if people that are denied to receive absentee, they are not, the commission will not be saying that you cannot vote. But if you want to vote with all these conditions, underlying condition that did not meet the requirement for an election request for absentee, you fly over and exercise your vote. You will not be denied to vote when you come, because you are previous voter, but you have been receiving all kinds of benefit. You have been residing elsewhere. You have lodging, no shelter elsewhere, but still claim your resident and domiciliary. So those are the things that I like to ask the commission to seriously discuss it with your legal counsel and see how can we really ensure that this process of execution for voting can really be looked into to be a more transparent and more meaningful. I've known people that are out of the Commonwealth for the past 20 years. They're not paying taxes. They're working over there. But still, they have the access to execute their voting rights in the Cnma. So just for food for thought, I like the commission to seriously look into this concern. Recognize Mr. Sablan, Robin.
Again, thank you, and we do acknowledge we have a procedure intact some last election, and it's approved by the commission. Any elector or voters that are either voting or submitting registration, if they're not here 120 days prior to the election, then we're challenging it. If they're off island for medical, education, military, retired, then if they're not there on any of those, we're challenging all the registration.
Even
Or,
for students that are
You have to be
medical referral?
medical referral, student, retired or military. We're not questioning those.
Okay, all right.
Other than that, we're challenging the registration or the absentee requests.
Okay. I know it's a tedious work for the staff to really and seriously sit down and to investigate all those requests. And it will also be a duty of the interested individual seeking public office to provide those no concern to the commission so that the commission can expedite investigation regarding their concern as well. That is my primary concern, as some of the members of the voting public have aired that to our attention, and I believe this is the best opportunity for the committee, a member of the committee, to raise this concern further so that the commissioners attending the quorum to make this decision can seriously discuss this concern. I thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield for now. I think I'm carrying all the time on the floor, but I like to yield at this point in time for the other members. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Before I recognize the floor leader, I strongly suggest that if there's any proposed legislation, either you share it with both houses in that regards, or you call both houses to explain as to what is the proposed legislation, so everyone will know. We don't know, and we have no idea that the proposed legislation that is submitted to the House. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to recognize the floor leader of the Senate, Senator Vinny Sablan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning to all who are here with us today. Special acknowledgement to the chairman of the Commonwealth Election Commission, Mr. Chairman Sablan, also Vice Chair Atalik, and also the CEC staff that are here with the board members, and also appreciation to the mayor and his leadership and staff for allowing us to use his office for this public hearing, and also acknowledgement to the governor's rep, King. Good morning, and thank you for being here with us. Good morning, Ms. Yatar, and I'd like to also give you appreciation for agreeing to continue your service with the Commonwealth Election Commission as a board member. I know there's a lot of challenges, as you mentioned in your personal testimony. Um, Senator Hokuk brought forth probably almost all the challenges that the Election Commission and the people of the Commonwealth face during every election, right, an election season. And I know it's some of the issues and concerns are challenging to find solutions to. A lot of it is just kind of runs by the honesty policy, right? Especially the absentee ballots here in the first senatorial district and the second senatorial district, where, as you mentioned, the majority of the number of voters reside outside the Cnma, and they outnumber the number of voters who reside in the senatorial districts that have to face the societal issues and all the decisions that are made. So I'm happy that there has been some efforts and energy placed into drafting amendments, as Mr. Sablan mentioned, Robin, and we're looking forward to see that in the Senate, so that we can once and for all move with the needed amendments to the election law. We're heading into this election, and in about 3 months, right, less than 4 months, 3.5 months, voters will be marching to the voter booths and to choose their leaders for the next 2 to 4 years. And I know there's a lot of work that's being done at the commission now. Does the commission have a quorum already, Ms. Yatar, right now?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so you do have a quorum. I just have several questions, just general questions, and any of you, maybe Robin, has the answers for these questions. But what is the total number of registered voters in the CNMI?
It's 18,000, not the exact figure. I can get that to you,
Okay,
but we're looking at 18,600.
18,000.
And we close registration September 9. So
September 9. Okay, and Rob, can you just break that down? First senatorial and second and third, or if maybe you can get the information
I
to
can
us,
get that
at
exact
a later
figure.
date, and then if I can request also maybe absentee, on each
It's senatorial district.
senatorial district, and we use this data to as soon as we receive the proposed amendments by the CEC, we can use that data to formulate our decisions as we deliberate on the legislation. So if that could be furnished to us at a later date,
Yes.
maybe once you furnish the legislation to the Senate. I want to ask, and I know Senator Hokuk, I had questions on the domiciliary domicile, and I know according to 1 CMC 6202 and 6203, there's a list of domiciliary language there on how to determine whether the candidates have a domicile in the CNMI, but that was answered. Robin, you mentioned that each election the CEC automatically challenges some voters.
Any,
Can you take us through, when you challenge the voters, what is the outcome, and what is the process of that the challenge? Is it after the election or after the vote has been casted?
so the process is as soon as we receive registration, if we are questioning their residency or domicile, by law, again, we forward it to the commission for final decision. We send the elector or voter a notice. We set a time for admin hearing for the result, and this is prior to the election. All this in questions, we send out their ballots still under provisional. We put a red flag on it just to make sure that when the ballots are in, We have the results already, either to be counted or not to be counted. The voters have the right, their last call is to take us to court, and that will be the final decision. So that's the process of the, if,
So at that time, it's kind of lengthy, no? When it comes to the end process, it could be months after the election, or
so prior to the election, prior to the tabulation,
okay.
we have to have the results already. But again, after that, if the voter wants to take the commission to court in regards to the result, they still can take that. But again, it's after the election already.
Okay, thank you, Robin.
Thank-
Ms. Yatar, I know that the any challenge by voters comes to the board, and it's the board that really determines the outcome. No? In respect to that, in 1 CMC 6215, that's challenged by voters' grounds or procedures. Is this a common practice? Do you see it in your tenure as a board member on elections? Do you see that it's common that people challenge the votes? Or candidates challenge votes, especially absentee votes? Is this a common practice on elections?
Yes, I've seen some. But I mean, it's not, it's not very much.
So can you provide like an example? Like, is it a candidate or a voter challenging a number of votes coming in for a particular candidate? Or I'm just trying to kind of determine what the challenge is about. If somebody comes in and challenges voters, how does that get communicated to the election commission? Do they come in and say, I want to challenge 20 voters from here? Or just a simple example, maybe just to kind of...
Okay, can I give the floor to Robin?
Okay. Go ahead. Or Chairman, yeah, just...
I think we're confusing two things. Absentee voters challenge, that's one. Voting challenge is another one. So there's two different things. Voting challenge and absentee voter challenge. Absentee voters, that's what he's talking about earlier. That if an absentee request comes in, they scrutinize that thing. If they figure out that it's not qualified, I'm pretty sure they set it aside for a hearing. And that's where we come in, we hire a counsel to hear the case if they do want to participate on the challenge. The voter challenge has to be on-site challenge. When that happens, if a voter comes in, somebody challenge, they will make him vote, put it in an envelope, set it aside until it gets to the voting place where the tabulator, the CC would look into the challenge thing and determine whether it's legit. If it's not, if it is, then we're not going to count it. We're not going to even open up the envelope. If it's if the challenge is denied, then that's the time the ballot will be open and we will fit to the machine for counting.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. So clarified on the difference of the challenge. Does the commission have access to a database to determine whether voters are voting in other jurisdictions? I mean, this is part of like, right?
Yes, we do verify to all state if they're registered or not. There's a couple state that we're having issue, but we are able to email them directly.
So it's in a database that's
in a
used by different
Election.
states, and you guys have the commission has access to that. Okay, just good to just some information that's good to know. Other than that, I think Senator Hokuk covered all the challenges and issues that the commission goes through, right? Mine were just kind of general questions, but I know the commission has a lot of work ahead of them, or has had a lot of work even heading into this election. And I want to just thank you, the commissioners or the board members and the staff of the election commission for really putting in your efforts to ensure that we have a fair election. So I'm looking forward to seeing the amended or draft recommended amendments to the election law, and I'm hoping we can kind of fix the kinks and see if we can fill those cracks in the law. No? Other than that, Ms. Yatar, I wish you luck and I thank you for accepting your renomination. And if there's anything that you need or the commission needs, our doors are always open for any recommendations or any ideas that you may have. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield my time back.
Thank you, Floor Leader. At this time, I'd like to recognize the Vice Chairman of this committee, Senator Hokuk.
Thank you. Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. I just want to make a follow-up request by the floor leader regarding the number of perhaps I am most concerned on the number of requester from previous on absentee. I am quite certain that if you review those requests, even from the past election, and perhaps it may increase this election, that the number of requests for absentee equates or even surpass the own island voters voting on a particular voting date. So we like to also have access to see the number from past election and perhaps a number prior to acting on your proposed amendment for change on the election process. And that way we can really debate or address the issue as to why this legislation is of utmost importance to be addressed. So hopefully that by next week, when we also schedule a member of the renomination again to serve another term on the election commission, and perhaps we can receive those to ensure that we understand and we are in the same page of the question that the committee has been putting out for answers.
Will do.
Other than that, Mr. Chair, I like to yield, and yeah, we have another opportunity to enhance the questions of concern when we going to address the renomination of another commission, hopefully next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice. And just want to clarify the 120 days. I understand it was mentioned medical referral, retirees, and students, or men and women in the military. Those that I mentioned are exempt from the 120 days.
So militaries, militaries, students, medical referrals, patients, those we consider it's in our law that if you're there for those reasons, then you're eligible for absentee.
So in regards to students, because some medical referral patient, they bring along their family and they live abroad for many years until the kids reach the age of 18, which is eligible to vote. Does that apply?
If the
Or does that
patient,
exempt from the 120 days?
if their patient is there with their escort, the escort is also eligible for absentee request.
So any other, like, besides medical referral, family leaving the Commonwealth for job opportunity and raise their kids up to the age of 18, those are apply, the 120 is applied to them.
Yes.
Okay. And like I said, Mr. Tar and Chairman Sablon and the Election Commission staff, if anything that needs to be amended, I think the Election Commission officers share to both houses so that everyone will know what's going on, or if that's not really appropriate by sharing, bring both houses together, request to meet, and so that the Election Commission can explain what are the proposed amendment on the election. Because giving it to one person and one person speaking on behalf of the others, I think that's not appropriate speaking on behalf of the Senate. We have different mindset in the Senate. We're nine members. That is very easy to you know to discuss any legislation rather than giving it to one house, and wouldn't matter. So I ask that that should be shared with both houses.
Chair, so noted on your concern. Now that we know that either house can do legislation, for that matter, concerning what we just did and presented to Congressman BJ. I just really don't know what happened, why he sat on it for that long until most recently when we inquire. So that's why we have to extract some portion that is really in need for changes for this coming election. Now that we know that you guys can do it, we'll try to work either way.
So that was submitted in 2021.
Yes,
You mentioned.
yes, Chair. And it's scheduled to be introduced. I just got a word from the office. It's scheduled to be introduced um, next week, Monday. Now, the first proposed amendment, I'm happy to email to the senators, and also a copy of the second proposed amendment.
Because of course, if they give to the Senate at the very last minute, it's not going to make it. It's
Understand?
very true. So that's why it has to be shared, to both houses, and let's see who's the first one to introduce it and pass. So I I thank you for carrying us, and Ms. Yatar. I know that they are very committed to continue to to serve in this capacity, and I hope that the concern of the members that raised today is that they can very seriously and discuss it with the other members, including the executive director and the staff of Commonwealth Election Commission. I don't have much to to raise questions. I just wish that this commission will work together for the benefit of the people of the Commonwealth, most especially those that have issues in the past, whether absentee or on island voters that have issues with their with their ballot. I hope those are resolved, and so that because we sometimes we receive complaints to our office in regards. That's why when it comes to this particular public hearing, it is appropriate that we raise concern and questions in regards to those concerns that are brought before us. So, any other member wish?
Just one clarification.
Recognize Senator Cook.
Yeah, we just learned that Robin was sent a text message that the House will be introducing the legislation next Monday. I want the commission to look into what will be introduced, whether the concern is being deleted or is still there. Because if the principal concern of the commission is not included, then what is there to be introduced? What is there again to be amended? So I'd like you to look into that, and perhaps you can share whether the concern of the commission is included or excluded from this proposed introduction of the commission proposed bill for change. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Clerk. Is there any letters submitted?
Mr. Chairman, members of the Senate EHA Committee, Ms. Yatar, and members of the general public. In addition to the oral testimonies received today on the executive appointment of Ms. Esther A. Yatar to serve as a member on the Commonwealth Election Commission representing the 1st Senatorial District, please be advised of one additional written testimony officially received in support of the appointee from Darren Mendiola, personal testimony. At this time, no written testimony in opposition to the appointment of the appointee has been received by the committee. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Clerk. At this time, all public comments are well taken. Let the record reflect that there's a written testimony submitted from individual in support of the appointee before this committee and will be included in the Senate Standing Committee recommendation report, along with all testimonies that were taken today, and will be forwarded before the full Senate members in consideration for confirmation or rejection. And before we adjourn, I would like to extend, on behalf of the members of the Senate Standing Committee on Executive Appointment, our appreciation and gratitude to Governor Torres' representative, Ms. Jackie King, the appointee, Ms. Esther Marie A. Yatar, and most especially the members of the general public for your participation and involvement during this important public hearing process. And we certainly hope that we continue this dialogue of communication between us, the elected officials, and the public to keep you abreast and informed of our current and future Senate hearings ahead that relates to public best interest. This concludes this public hearing. Do I hear a motion for adjournment?
Move for adjournment, Mr. Chairman.
There's a motion on the floor for adjournment and was seconded. All in favor of that motion, say aye. Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. This public hearing is now adjourned. Thank you. Also, I'd like to announce that there's another public hearing coming up at 11 a.m.